So just because you're a dentist doesn't mean that you're immune to cavities. And kids are not born with that cavity causing bacteria. It's transferred from a caregiver, like parent, maybe daycare person, or
Are there people who are just like more genetically predisposed to cavities, or is it really like their microbiome?
like, I've been drinking like green juice and stuff like that. It's so healthy. But for the mouth, you want to keep your meals really short.
We know that there's some pretty big culprits that play a role with cavities and sugar and like the pH in your mouth. But are there people who are just like more genetically predisposed to cavities, or is it really like their microbiome? What do you think are big players for why some people have cavities and some don't? Like Rob, he's had so many freaking cavities and like root canals. Like we're opposite our mouths.
I feel you,
Why
Rob.
so different?
I'm really cavity prone. And my mom was a dentist too. So just because you're a dentist doesn't mean that you're immune to cavities. And I do think that some people are more prone to cavities. I think it starts very, very early. And this is like something that I talk about all the time because I was so cavity prone, but I don't kiss my baby on the lips
Oh,
because
wow.
that bacteria, like as being a cavity prone person, I have a high
Mm-hmm.
level of S mutans in my mouth. I know because
Mm-hmm.
I swabbed it in dental school and like my petri dish just blew up and everyone said I had a
Wow.
dirty mouth. But I had a lot of cavities to show for it. So it was very
Mm-hmm.
consistent. And so I don't want to give that bacteria to my son because kids are
Mm-hmm.
not born with that cavity causing bacteria. It's
Mm-hmm.
transferred from a caregiver, like parent, maybe daycare person or whoever's watching them. And
Mm-hmm.
so my goal in like the first 1 to 3 years of their life is to keep that bacteria down. If they have a lot of that bacteria, it doesn't mean that they're going to get cavities. A lot of it is related to oral hygiene and things like that too.
Yeah.
But if they have a lot of that bacteria from a young age, it's inevitable that they're going to be fighting an uphill battle because of
Mm-hmm.
to express that disease, you need that bacteria. And if you have a lot of it,
Mm-hmm.
you're more likely to be prone to getting cavities. So it starts a lot earlier. To your question, Mamina, a lot of it has to do with the oral microbiome.
And
Mm-hmm.
that is
Mm-hmm.
in part kind of driven by genetics.
So that I think that part there's some genetic component and also diet and what you're using. Like for me, I have Sjogren's, and Sjogren's you don't have a lot of saliva, and
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
saliva is your body's natural way of buffering acids. It also contains
Mm-hmm.
calcium to help remineralize the teeth because we're always having acidic foods in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you eat, your saliva will start flowing and then rebalance everything. But if you don't have enough or the quality
Yeah.
of it's not good, then you're going to be more prone to cavities. So that's more so for people who are maybe have Sjogren's or on certain
Mm-hmm.
medications that dry out the
Mm-hmm.
mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That could be something to look into. I would think the easiest thing that people overlook is just their diet. And it's because what people are taught is healthy is not necessarily what's healthy for the teeth. They're like totally different. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'll have moms that are like, I've been drinking like green juice and stuff like that. It's so healthy. But for the mouth, you want to keep your meals really short. Every time you eat or you snack, the pH drops. So it's super acidic and enamel demineralizes in the process in the presence of acid. So if the
Mm-hmm.
pH drops below 5.5, that's when the enamel starts to demineralize. And you want to keep that snacking to a minimum because every
Oh.
time you snack, like if you snack at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, then that whole day your mouth is in an acidic state. Whereas, like if you have one big meal in the morning and then it rebuffers,
Yeah.
then you only dropped once in that day instead of like multiple times in that day.
Because Rob is a grazer and he also sleep eats. Like he wakes up in the middle of the night and eats. So like I don't know if his mouth ever gets a break. So that is so interesting.